There is only one video on this, and it didn't mention that hard mode disables combos, disables hit stun. You cannot even juggle enemies. So when you start the game, you have no idea what hard mode is, no description or tooltip. Some redditor says it's just numbers changing, but what it actually does is you deal no hit stun. When you hit an enemy, the enemy does not react, not even flinch. No hit stun means no feedback, so the combat is not fun. You are basically waiting for the enemy to attack, so you attack before he attacks again. So you are basically playing a turn-based game, which is boring and even worse later on when enemies are spammed. This footage is me trying to find an opening without getting damaged. Very chaotic, and also where I realized you gain iframes if you kill any knockdown enemy, which of course I abused, and I suggest you do too. Not so much in normal mode, where enemies react to your existence, and you can do actual combos, because enemies are hit stunned if they are not blocking, and so the game is fun, reactive. Another horrible thing in hard mode is enemy health scaling. It starts multiplied by 3, but eventually reaches 15 times higher. As a result, even filler mobs require 5 finishers to die. A string of at least 24 hits. Look at how many hits it takes. This is a normal monster. This is the second weakest enemy. 24. So you are forced to instead use the execution mechanic, or as I like to call, the kill button, where if an enemy is knocked down, you press B to kill it, gaining iframes, bless the developers. And that is basically your win condition in every fight, not involving a boss, so almost all of them. As a result, enemy health does not matter at all, your attack power does not matter at all, the kill button removes all blood, all numbers. You can also knock down enemies by parrying them, in this game deflecting. And the parrying window is very generous. And later in the game, when you are strong enough to wield two-handed swords, you can just do a heavy attack to knock them down. But let's return to the health scaling for a second, for it is related to the last horrible thing of hard mode. There is a mechanic called attack gauge, which pops up after you hit an invisible threshold. So it feels random. Anyway, it is a temporary health bar for bosses, and if you fail to get it down to 0, it heals the boss. So it heals 5 minutes of your time. The problem is, it's a very tight time window. It lasts 7 seconds, and if the boss is attacking, you lost your chance. As you understand, a boss with 15 times more health, regaining its health is not fun. Please suffer with me for a minute. "20 health bars later, this boss was killed. And it left me with a burning question. Did the developers really think this is fun? So I opened YouTube and compared it with normal mode. So this player did a mistake and lost some seconds. Look at the difference with normal mode, how quickly you can destroy the attack gauge, even if you were late. But this is not even the worst part. Oh no. There is a story boss where you have to defeat its feat within 90 seconds. And obviously, if it heals once, you fail. And sadly, the attack gauge is very tanky in hard mode, so if you don't have this specific attack boost item, this fight is impossible to beat. And you have to load your game before this fight to purchase it. And it doesn't even make sense, since you lose in the cutscene anyway. You are not fast enough. You cannot stop the monster in time, in the cutscene of course. So why game over? Why softlock there? You can obviously see the monster reached its destination, so why did I get a game over before? Anyway, is there any game with worse hard mode than this?
ダメージになるだろ。いや、エミールは剣より魔法の方がマシだ。